they left, there was an unspoken assumption: you would fall apart. They believed that your worth was tied to their presence, and by leaving, they could control you. But you surprised them. Instead of crumbling, you stood tall. You grew. The power of your response was invisible to them, silent, yet immeasurably powerful. Stoicism teaches us that the way we respond to external events is a reflection of our true character. You were faced with rejection, but rather than letting it define you, you chose to define it. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. When they left, they didn't understand that your happiness was never dependent on them. They thought they could break you, but they failed to see that your happiness was always in your control. Now, as they return, they're faced with someone who is no longer seeking validation from them. You have learned to value yourself, regardless of their actions. Their absence did not weaken you. It was the catalyst for your transformation. Number 1. The cycle of rejection and return. There is a certain pattern that emerges when they return after rejecting you. Initially, they left with a sense of triumph, thinking that by rejecting you, they held the upper hand. But now, as they see your strength, your peace, and the life you've built, that triumph begins to fade. The narcissist believes that their actions are a test, but in truth, it is you who has passed the test. Epictetus once said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Their rejection was a test of your resilience, your ability to control your emotions, and your understanding of what truly matters. The Stoic path is not about avoiding pain or rejection, it's about how we respond when faced with adversity. You did not let their rejection break you, you let it shape you. When they come back, it's not a victory for them. It's a confirmation that your strength, your peace, was never dependent on their approval. It's a sign that they underestimated you, and now they must confront the fact that their absence did not erase your value, it enhanced it. Number 2. The paradox of rejection, strength and solitude. Their rejection at first felt like a wound, a deep, painful mark that made you question everything. Yet, as time passed, something remarkable happened. That wound began to heal, but not in the way you expected. It didn't just close, it transformed. The solitude, once a source of pain, became a wellspring of strength. In solitude, you discovered who you truly are, independent of anyone else's approval or opinion. You realized that you do not need to be validated by others to feel worthy. You were born with an inherent strength, a power that needed nothing external to fuel it. As Seneca once wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Number 3. Understanding their return, a reflection of their own insecurity. When they return, seeking your attention, it's not out of love or admiration. It's because they cannot stand the reflection of their own choices. Narcissists in particular cannot bear the thought of someone thriving without them. It's a blow to their ego. They want to believe they are the center of your universe, but when they see you flourishing without them, it shakes their illusion. But as a Stoic, you understand that their return is about their own insecurities. It's not about you. They return because they want to regain control over your emotions, to feed their fragile ego. They expect you to welcome them back with open arms, but you know better. The Stoic mindset teaches us not to be swayed by the whims of others, not to be moved by their neediness or validation. As Marcus Aurelius said, reject your sense of injury and the injury itself disappears. When they come back, you must not fall into the trap of responding out of hurt or anger. You've already transcended that. Their return is a reminder of your power to remain calm, composed, and unaffected by their ego-driven needs. Number 4. The importance of maintaining emotional detachment. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is the importance of maintaining emotional detachment, especially in situations like these. When they return, many people might feel the urge to react, to express anger, confusion, or even welcome them back with open arms. But as Stoics, we understand that these emotions are temporary and fleeting. They are not our true selves. Emotional detachment doesn't mean becoming cold or indifferent. It means understanding that your emotions should not dictate your actions. You have the power to choose how to respond. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." In the same way, emotional strength comes from having few emotional needs. When they return, resist the temptation to fall into the emotional trap. Your peace is not negotiable. The more you remain unaffected by their return, the more you assert your autonomy and self-respect. Remember, it is not their presence that defines your happiness. It is your ability to remain centered and focused on your own growth. Number 5. The illusion of their power over you. The narcissist believes that they have power over you, that by rejecting you, they have somehow wounded you in a way that will keep you longing for their presence. They think that when they return, you'll be waiting, eager for their validation. What they fail to understand is that this power they believe they hold over you is nothing more than an illusion. By walking away from them, you've broken the illusion of their control. You've shown them that your life does not revolve around their decisions. Your worth was never tied to their approval. It was always rooted in your own understanding of who you are, what you value, and what you choose to prioritize. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. By accepting the fact that their return holds no true power over you, you reclaim the control they once thought they had. You are free, unburdened by their actions or their need to play mind games. Number 6. The power of self-mastery. One of the greatest virtues of Stoicism is the pursuit of self-mastery. It is the understanding that you are not defined by the actions or decisions of others. Your strength comes from your ability to control your reactions and your emotions. When they return, seeking to reclaim what they once discarded, it is a test of your self-mastery. Their return is a challenge, one that requires you to remain anchored in your values, in your sense of self. As Seneca wisely said, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. The time they wasted, rejecting you and abandoning you, is now yours to use. You have learned to live in accordance with reason, to govern your emotions, and to act with purpose. Self-mastery is not about avoiding pain or hardship, it is about how you face it. The rejection they gave you was a hardship, yes, but it is through enduring that hardship with grace and composure that you gain the strength to stand tall in the face of their return. You don't need them to validate your worth, for you have already validated yourself. Number 7. The illusion of reconciliation. When the narcissist returns, they may seek reconciliation. They may act as though they are seeking forgiveness or offering an apology. But you, as a Stoic, must see through this illusion. Reconciliation is not about restoring the past or patching up old wounds. It is about ensuring that you are at peace within yourself. It is about recognizing that you don't need closure from them, for you have already given yourself that closure. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus told us, "It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them." The way we perceive their return is what determines whether or not we allow it to disturb us. Reconciliation, in the Stoic sense, is not about a return to the past. It is about a commitment to moving forward with greater wisdom and clarity. If they return seeking to rekindle what was once lost, you must remain firm in your understanding that you are not looking to revive something that was never whole to begin with. Their return is not an invitation to reopen old wounds. It is merely a test of your peace. Can you remain undisturbed even when they come back with their illusions of change? Number 8. The true measure of your strength. As you reflect on their return, you must remember that the true measure of your strength lies not in how you react to their actions, but in how you continue to live your life with integrity and purpose. The Stoic path is not about external validation or approval. It is about cultivating an inner fortress of self-control and wisdom. The narcissist may return expecting you to be moved, to be swayed by their presence, but in truth, their return reveals their own inner weakness. They are desperate for validation, for confirmation that they matter. But you have already recognized that your worth does not hinge on the whims of others. You no longer seek external validation because you know that true strength comes from within. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. When they return, what matters is not their opinion of you, but the steadiness of your mind. Have you remained true to yourself? Have you continued to build a life that aligns with your values? This is the true measure of your strength. Number 9. The final test, standing firm in your peace. The final test comes when they return and expect you to react. Will you be the person who they once knew, the one who sought approval and validation? Or will you be the person who stands firm in their peace, who does not allow anyone to disturb their sense of self? As a Stoic, you know that peace is not a fragile thing that can be shaken by the actions of others. It is an unshakable inner state that comes from the deep understanding that your happiness is not dependent on anyone else's actions. The Stoics knew that external circumstances are beyond our control, but how we respond to those circumstances is entirely within our power. When they return, you must remember this. Your peace is yours to protect. It is the result of your commitment to yourself, to your growth, and to your inner strength. The narcissist may return, but they cannot take your peace unless you allow them to. And you, as a Stoic, will not allow it. Number 10. The end of the illusion. Freedom in letting go. As time passes, you begin to realize something profound. Their return was never about you. It was about them. It was about their need to feel relevant, to control the narrative, and to satisfy their own insecurities. But you, as a Stoic, have moved beyond the need for external validation. Their return no longer holds the same power it once did. This realization marks the end of the illusion. You see now that the narcissist never had power over you, not truly. They may have manipulated your emotions in the past, but they can no longer do so because you have learned to detach your sense of worth from their actions. You have let go of the need to hold on to the past and have embraced the freedom that comes with acceptance. Epictetus once said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." You have freed yourself from the need to chase after their approval, their love, or their presence. You are no longer bound by their manipulations. You are free to live your life on your own terms, guided by your own principles and values. Number 11. Moving forward, the journey of true empowerment. As you continue forward, you will realize that their return was just a fleeting moment in your journey. It was a test, an opportunity to demonstrate the strength you've cultivated through your commitment to the Stoic path. You have proven to yourself that you are capable of standing firm in your own sense of self, regardless of the turbulence that may come from others. True empowerment comes from within. It is the quiet confidence that arises when you no longer rely on others for validation, and instead, turn inward to find your own strength. The Stoics knew that external events are beyond our control, but how we choose to respond to them is where our true power lies. When they return, they are simply a reminder of how far you've come. They are a reflection of the journey you have already undertaken, a journey towards greater wisdom, strength, and self-mastery. You have learned the art of letting go, of releasing what no longer serves you, and embracing the peace that comes from living in accordance with your true self. If this resonated with you, I urge you to reflect on your own journey of self-mastery. What have you learned about yourself through moments of rejection? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I will personally read all of your comments. And if you seriously want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. Stay strong. Until next time.